Here. Here. Feel. Hear, feel, think.
Oi, you alright, lad? You were mourning in your sleep and sweating buckets besides. Rolling off a shift got your stomach churning, has it? Don't seem like seasickness. Now that I look at you, it'll be the ARR, I reckon. Some are more sensitive to the stuff than others. See, and we ain't too far from Wilburn now, with its chock full of aetherites. No need to fret though, you'll get used to it. Might as well have been blooming seasickness. Ships lipping around like a demented chocobo today. I reckon I might head out on deck. Get myself a breath of fresh air. Limsa Lominsa is still a ways off, in case you were wondering. Seeing as you're awake and all, how about you keep me company till we get there? Them young ones don't much care for conversation, see? Anyway, Brennan's the name. A pedal and peddling's my trade. Ah, smell that salty sea breeze? Now then, yet. Judging by your unusual garments, I'd say you were one of them new adventurers. Am I warm? Knew it. Going where the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory? No, that's what I call a living. As long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring is a risky business. These days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? To win glory. Glory, eh? Well, if you're willing to take on them tasks as other folk ain't, an adventurer such as yourself can win fame what coin can't buy. When you arrive in town, you want to report to the Adventurers Guild. You can find out everything you need to know about the adventuring business in there. Just remember though, there's more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. Ah! Ships of starboard bow! Pirate colors! You alright? Pirates? Bloody hells. Have you no sense? Get below! What is the world coming to? Pirates flying on a ship flying Lominsan colors? Bastards either have a boatload of balls or bugger all for brains. You can rest easy, friends. We've made it out of cannon range, and no buccaneer spark will catch this flight attempt to us once the wind in our sails. That's too bleeding close. Glad one of us kept his head on his shoulders. I reckon I'd have lost mine otherwise. If our pirates gave up the chase, we must be close to port. Let's head up on deck and have a look, shall we? Bye-bye. Is this your first trip to Limsa? Nope. Thought not. But I wager there has been some changes since your last visit. Allow a journey itinerant to apprise you of the current state of affairs. Lominsa prides itself on being Eorzea's foremost naval power. When too long ago that the place was ruled by pirates, but thanks to the current Admiral's civilizing influence, the city-states could almost pass for a respectable nation. You'd never guess she was once a rum-swilling buccaneer herself. Cause most folk ain't so quick to change, and with a town full of liberty-loving ruffians, you can imagine how many naysayers and troublemakers she's got to deal with. Like the pirates who took a fancy to us just now. And if it went bad enough, I've heard the Saigan are raiding the coast just as bold as you please. Them's the sea-dwelling beastmen the locals call fishbacks, case you didn't know. At long last. Land ho! Behold, Lominsa, a nation blessed by the ocean's bounty and beloved of Limlen, goddess of navigation.
On a windswept isle in the southwestern corner of the realm, amidst the roiling waves of the Rotano Sea, lies the maritime city-state of Limsa Lominsa. To this haven for bandits and brigands, cutthroats and curs, seekers of both freedom and fortune, comes a lone adventurer. Lone yet not alone, for the hero's arrival has drawn the gaze of the nation's patron deity, Limlane. What realm-shaking fate has she descried in the churning waters of this mortal's future?
And here we part ways, son. I'm off to the market to deliver me wares, and then it's on the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for saving me ass earlier. Hey, you never did tell me your name, did you? Well, here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage you can brag about having met, and I consider us square.
Through peril and hardship, discovery and triumph, may the navigator guide this brave soul on his life's voyage. Till sea swallows all.
Hey, you there. I am in you. This is my district, and I make it my business to know all the scum that washes up on it. Ah, an adventurer fresh off a boat, is it? Well then. Allow one of Lominsa's finest to set you on the right path. Up to it, lad. I haven't got all day. And with that, welcome to Final Fantasy XIV. Where recently the patch 5.3 was released that basically made a redesign of entire, well, not redesign, is overmuch. The quest flow of a main story up to well, the first credit scene, meaning the whole set of patch 2.0 to 3.0 has been reworked, and I wanted to upload a comparison between how was it before an episode and how is it now. Now, the other character I recorded this beforehand started in Uldar, so that's fine, I guess. I don't expect this early game to change much, except maybe XP gain, item rewards, that kind of stuff, because this is the tutorial section, basically. Yeah, I know how the initiate quest works. Okay. Now then, I'm sure you're itching to explore, but adventurers are required to register their presence in the city, and without a bit of local knowledge, you're like to get your throat slit in some piss-stinking alley. So before you do anything else, get yourself over to the Drowning Wench and enroll with the Adventurers Guild. It's not far. Just straight ahead down the street and speak with Grafar. He'll show you how to work the big moving platform we call the Crow's Lift, and that'll take you up to the pub. Once you're there, look for a fellow by the name of Baderon. He's the proprietor of the wench. He might curse like an sodden sailor, but the man's got a soft spot for white-eyed newcomers like yourself. He'll set you straight. Got all that? Good. Now run along and may the navigator guide you on your journey. Welcome to Limsa Lominsa. If you have a mind to visit the Drowning Bench, the Crow's Lift will take you there. There's Padawan. Greetings to you, lad. What'll it be? Ah, but you ain't here for drink, are you? You've come with a mind for trying, and adventuring, I reckon. Well, you'll find no shortage of work here in Limsa. My name is Padawan. And this most hospitable of hostelries is the Drowning Wench. It is also the home of Adventurers Guild here in Limsa. That's why we've got a desk specially for handling guild business, and why I seem to spend more time saving the necks of whelps like yourself than wetting the throats of me customers. Adventurers have a knack for finding trouble, see? Not that they need it in these parts, on account of there being trouble wherever you look. If you manage to steer clear of the fishbags and the kobolds outside the city, the pirates on the insides will get you instead. And if they don't manage, there's always the Garlean Empire to finish the job. Oh, no one knows what they're planning, of course, but if they're planning anything, you can be sure it's to kill a lot of us. Aye, this town seems peaceful at a glance, but look again and you see a people living in fear of what tomorrow might bring. And who can blame them after everything that's happened? Yours took a mighty blow during the calamity, but our homes weren't the only thing that got wiped off the face of existence by that thrice-stamped bastard of a dragon. It took our bleeding memories too, and no one's been able to explain it in a way that makes an ounce of sense. None of the folk who saw it and lived to tell the tale seem to agree on how the tale actually goes. 'Tis all foggy, like recollections from a hard night on the ale. You can imagine why people might fear for the future if they can't rightly recall the past. But there's one thing we all remember, and that's the group of adventurers that laid down their lives to drag Eorzea back from the brink when she was bound for the abyss. Well, I say we remember. Truth is, though, we ain't forgotten what they did for us. Misgotten calamity spawned memory loss robbed us of our names. It won't even let us picture their damn faces. It's like staring at a gull flying in the front of the sun. All you see in your mind's eye is a shadow set against a blinding glare. That's how every bugger describes it, by the way. Give or take the odd gull. It's this, what got people calling these heroes the Warriors of Light. If Limsa is ever going to put this time of darkness behind it, it's going to need venturers to help banish the fear. It's going to need new heroes, like the ones we lost. Maybe one day, you'll be one of them. And that's why any aid we can give to a venturer is effort well spent. What say you, lad? You willing to lend us your strength? Sure. Many thanks to you, and to the Navigator and all. I knew she'd steer you my way for a reason. But listen to me, yattering on like a sun-touched fishwife. 'Tis high time we got a mark in me book. Put your scroll right there. Well, is it? Fine name it is. Congratulations, you're now an upstanding member of Adventurers Guild. You there, Venturer. You said in the last ferry, did you not? The captain reported being attacked by a pirate vessel, and several witnesses have testified independently that a passenger matching your description went out on deck mere moments before the incident took place. Sending your friends signals, were you? Now just hold on a moment there, officer. You got the wrong bloke. This fine upstanding young gent is my dear departed grandma's sister's niece's cousin's closest companion. Well, that wouldn't be caught dead fraternizing with such unsavory elements. Is that right? You're surely aware of the recent kidnappings? Respectfully then, we cannot be too trusting of outsiders at a time when the loyalty of even our closest friends is in doubt. Aye, you make a good point there, officer. A very good point. Very wise. You needn't worry, though. I keep one eye open at all times, and two more often than not. Now, sir, what say you to a tankard of me finest ale before you return to your duties, huh? Not a watered-down cup of piss like last time, I should hope. Ain't got the faintest idea what you're on about, officer. Wench might offer some of the cheapest grog this side of the Strait of Malta, but that don't mean it don't get you good and pickled. And look, there's a chair over there just crying to be sat on, So kick off them heavy boots, eh? You have to excuse these eager bloody yellow jackets. There's been a spat of kidnappings, see? And they ain't got a clue who's behind them. Naturally, they've taken to clapping irons on anyone who looks vaguely suspicious, which means adventurers, visitors, and pretty much every bugger else in this town. Don't take it personal though. Us Lominsans can be an headstrong bunch of bastards, this true. But given time, we'll grow on you. Now, where was I? Oh, aye. Welcome into Limsa, Lominsa, where the sea is green as the faces of my patrons after a few too many black belly whiskies. Now, take a moment to gather your wits and we'll get started with learning you the ways of the city. This concludes the introductory game tutorial. You have taken your first step. Listen well to Baderon, go forth and discover incredible adventures. Right then, let's get you off nice and easy with 3 tasks that will help you get used to life here in Limsa. Firstly, if you head down one floor and then point your nose to the west, you get an eyeful of a great glowing crystal in the middle of a courtyard. That's an aetheryte. A device that can move you from one place to another in the blink of an eye. Ain't no swifter way to traveling. Provided there's an aetheryte where you want to go, of course. Have a chat with a yellow jacket on guard down there, and you'll be treated to a lecture on the workings of the device. Before you do that, though, remember to touch the thing. As strange as it sounds, it won't work till you have. Second on the list is the marketplace. You'll find weapons and armor and all your adventure bits and pieces for sale in the district what lies beyond the aetheryte. Don't go throwing your gear around just yet though, or you get fleeced quicker than you can say, why's me curtain purse so light? Have a word with Swathblood instead. He's the head of the Merchants League, by the way. Give him his old octant and he'll treat you well. For the last of me helpful hints, I suggest you meet some fellow axe-wielders at the Marauders Guild. I guarantee you'll learn a few new tricks for swinging that head splitter of yours if you join their crew. Blood Torta at the front desk is the one to get you started. Got all that, lad? Seeing to them 3 tasks will take you on a little jaunt around the city and help you work out where everything is. Now, I've best getting on. Run along, eh? Bugger it. There I go, sending you off without telling you somewhat crucial. That bloody calamity made a right mess of my memory, I swear. Well, that or the ale. Anyway, while you're out, if you happen to pass any poor sorts that look like they might need your help, considering giving the tale of woe a listen, eh? Sounds like a chore, I admit, but you never know what interesting opportunities could be lurking out there, just waiting for you to stumble on. For example, Nenia over yonder has been casting glances at you since you waltzed in. Why not lend an ear and see what she has to say? Aye, you like to find yourself running out errands in the beginning, but once you build a reputation as a man folk can trust, the job gets harder and the rewards more generous. If you have the time, I'd also seek the advice of a smith here at the ranch. The lad, as bear the title, have some fine advice for when you're starting out the profession, and that, my lad, is how we go about becoming a legend among adventurers. And that is how we always start with visit the market, visit the aetheryte, and visit the guild of your starting class. Okay, Nenia, eh? Well, would you look at this? A shiny new adventure. Come closer, I've got some information that might help you put you on the map here in Limsa. I was passing through Bulwark Hall not long ago and saw a bunch of herbs just scattered about on the ground. Now, I'm not entirely certain, but I think they might have been black market wares known as dream flowers. Limsa Lominsa is a busy port, and not all the merchants that blow in across the strait are above board, if you know what I mean. How's the plans end up in the mizzenmast? Who knows, might have been a deal gone bad. The important thing is you make a name for yourself by handing them in. Speak with Scarrett and she'll get you down to the first floor. Then all you have to do is pick up the herbs and take them to XIV at the Octant. Being a worldly captain, he knows a thing or two about just shady goods. Yeah, good. Let's take the lift. You could also take the stairs. But the quest won't let me in. By the way, this is not the main story quest really. It's just to get you started, no? Yes, I'm XIV. You have some herbs you wish me to examine. As you suspected, these are highly illegal blooms known as dream flowers. They are the prime ingredients in the creation of somnus, a substance whose fragrance is said to lull the sniffer's mind into the sleep of the dead. Forgive me, I could not resist the jest. These herbs are not more than Altic lavender, a common enough export from Limsa Lominsa. In fact, these probably spilled from crates that were loaded onto my very own ship. I think someone has been having a bit of fun with you, son. But not to worry, you've learned a few things and made a new acquaintance. Well met. Limsa's Aetheroid Plaza is always full. Ah, another novice adventurer. I bet I sent more than a few of your kind this way of late. I'm Sandemal, one of the Yellow Jackets tasked with keeping the peace of the city. It's also my charge to provide guidance in the use of this device. Fear not, I shall be brief. Aetheroids are crystalline structures that tap into ethereal energies. They are primarily used as a means of travel to travel swiftly from one place to another. Return and teleport. The most common transportation spells make direct use of the aetheroids and their connection to the flow of aether. And as these devices are found in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer worth of a name will wish to seek out and attune himself to each one. Once you have expanded your horizon beyond the walls of the city, you will soon find yourself performing the act of attunement as a matter of course. There is, however, no need for unseemly haste. The aetheroids found in and around the city will be sufficient for the present, I assure you. Should you wish to learn more about aetheroids or transportation magic, I will be here to answer your questions. And with that, we get return and teleport. Am I now if yeah, I'm okay. Oh, my link. A fine evening to you, sir. Welcome to the most complete marketplace in the grand realm of Eorzea, where every shelf groans in the wake of wonders spawned from all corners of the world. Pray, browse your stalls until your eyeballs ache from ogling the overabundance of unbelievable bargains. Now, as much as I would love to elaborate upon the unrivaled quality of our merchandise, I must tend to some cargo but recently arrived at the docks. You bear a gift from Bedouin. Whatever could... Ah, my octant. Private Navigator must have left it behind in the wench, along with a week's pay and several belts worth of intoxicated memories. I'm most grateful to have it back. This tool is a keepsake from my days as a ship captain, see? Needless to say, your good deed must be repaid. What better recompense than the wisdom of a master merchant? If it's simple and sturdy adventuring equipment you seek, we'll need look no further than the east and west arms of Hawker's Alley. Lest you doubt, each skill you invest in arms and armor will be money well spent. Adventuring is, after all, a dangerous profession by its very nature. It goes without saying that Hawker's Alley boasts stalls specializing in the tools of every martial discipline imaginable. And within but a few steps are the bazaars, apothecaries that will most aptly supply you all your potion and perishable needs. Our keen-eyed agents procure, frankly, befuddling range of wares during their sojourns into distant shores, so it pays to become familiar with the type and price of the goods offered by each stall. Such knowledge will serve you well if your purse is light and your time is short. But verbal instructions of this kind will only profit you so much. Experience has been the surest teacher, if not the kindest. I invite you to explore the markets by yourself. And I think I just cut the episode here, and we see each other at better ones once I'm done with the Marauder skills, where basically it's just the class job you pick up. I don't know when I upload this, but there will definitely be an upload of this class eventually. So check it out if you're curious about the class itself. Until next time then, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I am Ace, and don't get lost.